Good morning, everybody.
Hey.
So I say morning, and I realize that I'm just so selfish. I'm like, it's morning here still on the
Good
west coast of
afternoon.
the U.S. People on the East Coast are already like, come on, man, I
Yeah.
already had lunch. Anyway, so yes, I'm incredibly egocentric, and and I only understand what's germane to me.
Exactly. That's one thing we know about Family Man is he's not about anyone but himself.
Anyway, but there are a lot of things that I'm into that I think other people are into too. So I think that's what this is about. We're here to talk about some stuff that we're all into. I wanted to jump off right away talking about the June BOATY airdrop. So people that have BOATY in their wallets were able to receive new distribution of that. There are going to be 11 more. We were talking about a year's worth of BOATY airdrops for BOATY holders. Now, the airdrop was given, it actually went out automatically to people that had 1 million BOATY or more in their accounts. And anyone that had less than 1 million BOATY, you can receive the airdrop. But you need to fill out the form. It's a Google Doc form in order to connect with the team and let them know that you would like to have it. They're not going to be dropping it to everybody who happened to have a single Ethereum in their wallet. Yeah. It's just too cost prohibitive, and it's an ineffective way to keep the token going. You know, if people that want it, guess what? You qualify for it. You can have it. And again, for people with more than 1 million tokens, they just got it automatically. But it's just a simple matter of filling out that Google form and submitting it, and we'll get the BOATY distributed to you. Is there anything else that you wanted to add to that, or is that pretty much?
No, I think that basically wraps it up. I mean, there's a little bit more discussion kind of going on about what's, other potential tweaks of things that might be going on within kind of the BOATY ecosystem. But for people privy and wanting that information, go to the GG Collective Discord and you can get caught up on the conversation, tell us your piece, and see what's going on there.
Yeah, the great part about it is that you can contribute to it. Tell us what you think. If you see something that's a better idea, see something that is worthwhile, that's what the collective is about. This is a 100%. Group, this is a community, and we're working together to make these things great. Other things that are being made great, Cryptogram, he has he called it the weekly. So apparently we get to expect to see this weekly. This is the inaugural one. It's a weekly team update they're going with. So he was exhaustive. He poured through like what he and Tim and Drew, and then the new art people that they brought on board. And forgive me, like there's just so much that's in there. I'm not going to just read the announcement to you. What I do want to do is kind of just give you the highlights real quick. We can anticipate an updated light paper between this post, which is with the weekly update, and also Tim posted shortly thereafter. They're doing the final tweaks to the light paper. They're going to get that posted, and we're going to have the official version out soon this week. And they're also really on pace to be able to get the Hopia store and Hopia ecosystem kicked off this week as well. Hopefully things continue to fall into place as they have been. Some of the related artwork for this has been posted as well. He followed it up shortly thereafter. But you see, you can get these gate keys. Now I'm in a speculative mood. They haven't really at least in the channels that I'm in, they haven't really expressed this. I'm looking at this and it almost looks like you can buy these keys and it looks as if they'd be some sort of almost like a gotcha where you might be able to receive different rarities. Is that what we're seeing there? What's your take, Blake? Do you know better than me?
What I will say is, as much leaking as I can give. I think the essence of it is, the gate keys are your ability to open the portal and summon these different rarity of, in-game items. So, that's what I'll leave it at for now.
Okay.
We'll let you guys speculate from
there. Not even getting
a
confirmation about gotcha, but we do have gate keys and summoning. So let's see how those pieces end up fitting together.
I actually do have some more of the artwork that I'd love to show off.
Yeah, let's do that.
Here was a sneak peek of the GG Collective store for these gate keys. This is where everything for the GG Collective will eventually be housed, but obviously starting with NFTD. So we've been tweaking with this a ton. Deadly has been doing amazing work to get this thing built out and ready to go. So,
yeah, he was saying they were saying that he had exported a lot of the stuff from the game to the website itself, which removed, what was it, like 12,000 lines of code from the game, which that's got to help with optimization.
Well, and the biggest piece, that people were running into, I think, was the issue with, because we're, essentially validating your wallet, seeing what assets you have, because those are the assets you get to use in game. That was taking a lot of time to do at the start of every match. It was polling that, seeing what you held or whatnot. So, they're working to do everything they can to simplify that process and essentially just have it call upon the website profile, which is your GG Collective profile. So this is a game within the GG Collective ecosystem. So rather than it being independent, it can just call to one source. So I know that was a big part of that.
That sounds great.
So a couple other little art things. This is some work that Ryan had been doing. Just going through. I mean, there's so much of this going on, right? Like, there's the amount of art I could show could take forever, just of all the different sketches. I mean, that everyone's doing is amazing. Here's some more different tower iterations. Seeing them work through this process is really, really cool. And then Glorymar, taking it and making it 3D. So it's been great, and this is a big part of why we really want to get more into those weekly updates and things of that nature. Is it's really cool seeing all this progress, like seeing going from the sketches to the rendered model to seeing what the projectiles look like. We want to make sure that everyone's available to be along for that ride, right? But yeah, no, they are cruising along and cranking it out. So
yeah, it's looking good, looking better and better. Let's talk about another game in the ecosystem. Something we also seem to, most of us, have in common. The Mooncast team, they were definitely hard at work last week. And Jason, in his update, he threw. First of all, there's some really good news. They have the server framework far enough along that they were able to run communication between the server and a client. So they connected the client. It was able to validate the user, and it didn't need to store any passwords on the site. That's a big deal for them. They want to be able to maintain your security. And if there's nothing being stored anywhere, then you don't have to worry about any compromises to that. In fine tradition, this is the family man moment to humble himself about the tech world. And I was introduced to the term mocap bind pose joint this week. And to me, that obviously is a euphemism for smoking weed in a MAGA hat. So I don't know how it relates to building out an MMO that has its roots in fishing, but you can take it for what it's worth. That's about as far as my understanding went with what he was talking about there. It did have something to do with motion capture and animation. So they're moving right along with that. Some other great news is that for those of us who really want to know what a mocap bind pose joint is, we'll be able to ask the team directly. They're going to be doing what they're calling the Milestone 1 Dev Chat. They're doing that on this Thursday, June 27th. And again, most of it's going to be a general overview, kind of the standard AMA style, where they kind of give a presentation and then open it up to some like relevant questions at the end from the community. So really looking forward to it. There's a ton of things that they've been up to that either we don't understand or we don't even see at all. He said he's also going to bring a video to the table, so we'll be able to get a chance to see some of this.
And I'd say, like you and like me, I think most of the people here are gamers first and foremost. And so, the tech updates and everything are awesome because not only does it show you they're hard at work, but, they are giving you tangibles. Do I understand the tangibles? No. but they're giving them to me nonetheless. So, I think something like this is a great opportunity for, okay, what does this mean for me? How do I interpret all this information and see what that actually means? So,
yeah, I can't tell you how grateful I am to be able to see that, like, this is the progress that's being made. Like, and then we always had, like, the fireside chat was the summary. It's when the whole team kind of got together and broke it down for us, and then related directly. This is a similar format, and I think it's really well, it's encouraging because like I said, he's so faithful with these weekly updates and has been for a long time now. But we get a chance to see they've actually stepped through this. Sometimes he has to report that they're just like beating their head against the wall about some problem, and that's where they're at. Like, it's very glib and just straightforward. But so many times we get a chance to see, like, they found some sort of elegant solution to this thing that was just like causing so much trouble, or they just stumbled across some sort of awesome optimization that just makes everything a lot simpler. They found a new piece of software that is just going to take all of these things that they were trying to develop independently, and it's just going to, like, seamlessly blend them together and make it a lot easier. That's what he's been talking about from the beginning, with their experience that they already have, definitely on the game development side, but now also on the blockchain side. They're looking at the ways to take, particularly from the blockchain side, the technology that's constantly improving, and work that in with what they're doing right now, rather than just use the old stuff, the stuff that was maybe available 3 years ago when they all got together as a team in the first place. There's been so much progress since then on so many different fronts. I mean, heck, we've got a bunch of different upgrades, even to the game engines. UE5 is out now. That wasn't around back then. There's not that anyway. So the point is that there's this constant improvement across the board, and they're able to, like, weave these things into what they're building right now, and for them to be able to report that to us regularly is a real blessing.
Oh yeah, it makes all the difference in the world. It's communication is key, and I think that's something we've seen a lot of projects get hurt by. Right? Is if you can give consistent communication that is true, I think is the big, that's the big key, right? You can say everything you want, but if you're saying something consistently, people can trust that what you're saying is going to be correct, and you're going to do everything in your power to implement it. It makes all the change.
Yeah, definitely easier to get on board with something where you can see what's going on, like the proof is in the pudding kind of thing.
Yep.
Wow, so talk about proof is in the pudding. I love how these segues are just, like, naturally developing here. The Wild Forest is, like, getting their stuff out. We talked about them. They're the RTS game on the Ronin chain. They've got this really sweet, like, forest animal theme going on for all their characters. Like a light cartoony, not offensive in any way. And it's just a fun, like, small scale RTS. But they were really, they just had a bunch of announcements this past week where they were just, like, reporting on all this progress that they've made. They have some partnerships, some new partnerships that are out. They collaborated with a game called Space 3, and that it's allowing Wild Forest players to get in on an airdrop within the Ancient 8 ecosystem. So if you use the link within their channel and you put in their code, you'll be able to qualify. It's 500 points towards this airdrop, and so just something right there that's kind of like one of those free money kind of things if you're into that. They also announced a partnership with the Meta Gaming Guild, and they're going to be kind of helping on the esports side. There's going to be a bunch of information about them building with live tournaments, guild tournaments, and they're also going to be doing some streaming stuff. The big news with in-house for them is that they're looking forward to Play to Airdrop Season 2, and they wanted to talk about how the Lords NFTs are going to be integrated here. What we see here, this signal fire is actually kind of a separate thought. Let's jump to that real quick. It's a feature that they recently added to the website itself, where you can go in and it's a chain activation. So you do need to have. They say you need to have some Ronin in your wallet in order to verify the transaction or to pay for the transaction. But it's just one of these things that if you click on this button to light the signal fire, you're going to qualify for a reward at the end of 12 hours. So it's one of those things that, like, for active community engagement, they're trying to keep people involved. Since the season, the earnings season is officially season 1 is over and they're moving into season 2, but you can pick up a bunch of different rewards there that are all in games. Things like gold and the shards there are like essentially experience for your different characters. You can actually earn the Wild Forest token too. Now they say that this is the test token; it's not actually live yet. I don't know what their plans are for conversion of test token to the live token. So even so, you can use that token. They already have utility for it within the game where you can combine different characters and then use the token in order to upgrade from one rarity to the next. So if you have an uncommon and you got a bunch of other identical characters, you can kind of merge them all and upgrade from an uncommon to a rare, and on up. So if you have enough of the components. They also say there's some other in-game stuff that they're going to toss at us. In addition to this signal fire upgrade to the website, the lord, get back to the lords, you're going to be able to stake your lords. They said before the end of the month, so we're looking at just a week left, so soon. And the way that's going to work, they're going to have 2 different kind of distributions for that. There's going to be what they call the community round, which is exclusively for people who own the NFTs. They're going to be receiving a certain amount of an airdrop based on how many and the rarity that you have in your wallet. And it's I guess it's a pool of $600,000. So there's a lot of people that are kind of hoarding these things and waiting around to see just how much they're able to get from the distribution there. The other part is that they are going to be contributing to the Play to Airdrop Season 2. They've kind of reduced the amount of points that you gain from owning them, but if you have your lord staked, you'll get 4 times the amount of points in that airdrop allocation as you would if you just had the lord in your wallet. So I don't know if any of you guys are playing this. We've been talking about it a bunch, and my kids love it, and so they're always trying to get me to play it. So these are things that if you are in the ecosystem, definitely take a look at this stuff and position yourself the right way, because again, like 4 times the rewards just for having it staked. I think at this point they're only talking about a short term. They said a 90-day stake. So even there, you're not signing it away forever.
Yeah, exactly. I know that's my biggest thing with a lot of staking things, right? It's just like, dude, I like having my stuff. And so you got to make sure either it's staking.
I can remember the first time I looked at what is it? What do they call that in the banks where you can it's essentially staking, right? What is that? I can't believe it's escaping my mind right now. Certificate of the COD, the certificate of deposit. You can get a COD for 2, 3, 5 years, and you can lock up your money and get like 1.3% on it.
Yeah. Not even covering inflation. Like, what are we
doing? So banks have been doing this forever. It's not any different. Well, actually, it is different because the rewards in crypto are like vastly improved.
Exactly. There's not everyone skimming it all off the top. So.
I also wanted to talk a little bit about Spellborn. They shortly after our show last week, they put out a new upgrade or update as well. And mostly it was a UI update, but they did include some new features. They added a new in-game quest. And then if you complete that quest, you open up a new feature called the task board. And the task board, it's a daily thing where they give you 5 different tasks. Now, at this point, some of those tasks are either hard to complete or it almost seems like they're not worth it to complete because like one example is if you take a certain number of these they're essentially the potions, the items that you would use in order to improve, like one-shot items to give health back and stamina back to your monsters. If you take the combo packs, 5 of these small combo packs to the hospital, they'll give you 3 gold. Well, the only way to get combo packs right now is to buy them from the in-game store, and that many cost 10 gold. So you're kind of like you're at a loss if you're going to be doing it that way. Eventually, you'll be able to craft those combo packs, but the point is that the task board is there, and it's not always that task. Some of them are much more agreeable. You can go out and you have to kill 5 Flarpies or a bunch of totals or whatever. Anyway, check that out because it's an easy way to get extra gold nuggets if you're playing the game. And then there was a lot of other just nice streamlining with quality of life stuff. This photo right here is one of the new characters that they're going to be bringing out for the Mondo Swamp expansion, and this should go live with the when they open the game to the public as well. This one's called. It's going to be my favorite. I haven't even played with it. I don't know if it's any good, but it's called Man Groovy, and I'm all about it. Man Groovy. You can see the little like mangrove tree on his head, but Man Groovy is my new favorite monster, and so I just wanted to kind of highlight that guy this week.
So funny. I love it. I love games like that. I was such a big Pokemon kid growing up, right? Like it was my go-to game. So I love seeing it.
Yeah, like one of the things that they talk about is there's just incredible market demand for games like this. There's just tons of people love these games, and like any other game, it's nice to be able to get in early. If you not everybody was around in 93 when Pokemon came out, and even the ones that were probably kids and they just trashed their cards and stuff like that. Here's a new one that's coming out that you can get in on the ground floor and see it from the very inception. They've already changed a ton of stuff. They were showing images the other day in chat about the original minimum viable product, and it's so vastly different now. And, they've got a neat idea, and I think they're going to do well with it. Another game that we're going to talk about, Star Atlas. I want to shout out to Earther again. He's been really helping keep the GG Collective community in touch with what's going on there in the Star Atlas server. He mentioned that there's going to be an AMA coming up on July 3rd, and it's going to be monstrous. Apparently, they say it's going to be the biggest town hall they've ever hosted. They're going to be talking about crew packs, development in UE5, a lot of other stuff. They're just going to be really going through it, and that it's worth tuning into. So that'll be July 3rd. For me, it's apparently going to be noon Pacific. So I guess that would be 7 UTC. I'll try to think globally instead of selfishly.
Yeah, 1900. 1900. No,
1900. Oh, 1900. They also pushed a new update themselves for the star-based expansion, and they've said that this is going to be the last one for star-based for a while because they have to do some tweaking on another phase of the game in order to catch it up with star-based. But real quick, one of the things that they added with this upgrade was the meta crafting station, and it allows you to purchase items that have been essentially made available by third-party developers or third-party projects. So this first one that they put out it's a poster, essentially. It's a poster NFT. It says reward level 1 on there, and that is it has to be related to what the DAO themselves are up to. I dug in a little bit to try to figure it out more. Didn't get a lot of feedback on that. Couldn't find what I was looking for. But this is for it was put out by the people from the Super Phoenix DAO. Now the Super Phoenix was one of the is one of the Titans that was sold in the aftermath of finding out that the GG Collective had purchased the Pierce T1, and this is a community that has gotten together and has purchased this, and they sold what are called they're calling them cubes. That the cube represents your ownership, your stake in the DAO, and your eligibility for different rewards that are coming from the use of that Super Phoenix. And as a group, they have put out this this NFT, this poster NFT, in order to be able to engage the in-game ecosystem with what they're up to. So you can take these things that you find, whether you've mined or you've done scanning with your fleets to bring in SDUs and things like that. You can gather a bunch of those different components and exchange them for this NFT.
Well, it calls back to what's so cool about Star Atlas, not even the game side, but just looking at, their IP as a whole and how they're going about doing things. Like, they are incredibly empowering to the people of the community to use their brand for their own needs, right? They have like their whole breakdown of, you can use their IP for free up to the first $1 million in revenue you earn. And then after that, it's like a bracketed cost. Like, that's a really awesome opportunity to provide your community, free of charge for $1 million worth of, obviously you have your, they're not going to take anything from what you make. You have the right, as long as that's something, not defaming or, anything inappropriate of that nature. But this is kind of the first in-game side of that we've seen, as far as, okay, you guys can now, this is your ability to start making your own things, making your own collectibles like this and selling them to the broader audience. Awesome. I can't wait for June 3rd is going to be, or July 3rd is going to be it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, definitely worth tuning into. I was mentioning that this is going to be, they're pausing the Starbase development for this, and the reason is that they have to get they have to be integrating all these upgrades that they've made to Starbase into their into its counterpart, which is called Fleet Command. And we're going to close out today with a video that they posted for us. This is just their neat little presentation of what Fleet Command is, and this is what we have to look forward to. All right, guys, we'll sign off here, I guess, and then just let you guys enjoy this because it's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, everybody, take it easy.
Thanks a lot.